we have a great website here, 97.1 The Ticket. Evan Jenkins, among others, runs the whole deal. Will Birchfield, excellent writer, and former Oakland Press columnist Pat Caputo has some things in it as well. And in his latest, Pat Caputo says that Lions drafting, here's the headline, the Lions drafting Jameson Williams, glaring mistake. Now, I don't know, I don't remember per se whether Pat was in favor of the trade up and selection of Jameson Williams or not.
Right.
But he is correct. If he doesn't pan out, it will be a colossal mistake because he says the Lions would have had 32 and 34 because of the Stafford trade and could have taken, Christian Watson with either pick. And they could have also taken Jalen Petrie, the safety, or, Kenneth Walker III, any of those guys, instead of taking Jameson Williams, not to mention Sign from Georgia, who was taken, or Seen, right?
Seen, yeah.
He was taken by Minnesota and he got hurt. But, yes, there were other people out there.
Well, I would also take it to say that even if they made the trade, the selection of Jameson Williams is, by his estimation, a failure because you could have had Jordan Davis. You could have had a number of different players.
Yes.
I'm not willing to go there yet. Am I disappointed? Sure. But I'm going to put last year as a write-off, just simply because they drafted him with an ACL.
Right.
This year, the disappointment began with his decision-making, and you could say, well, they weren't educated. It doesn't matter. He's suspended for gambling at the Lions facility. He's not going to be there for 6 weeks. And then on top of that, it was his performance of dropped passes during practice, and you could say, well, it's practice. Well, he did it in the game as well, and we only got a chance to see that one game. I was expecting him to go out there and just make guys look silly because of his speed that we hear about, his quickness, his playmaking ability. He was going against guys that are not going to be on rosters in another week.
Right.
And we didn't see any difference between him and everybody else he was playing against.
And if you want to take the role of, I didn't like his off-the-field stuff that had nothing to do with football, or at least one of them didn't. Some people don't like the firecracker video that he's, but to me that didn't bother me that much. Just stay away from social media so nobody has to know about it. And the liking the tweet we're saying that the Lions should go get Lamar Jackson. So you had that, the whole cornucopia of stuff. It's easy to second guess now. What I would second guess, and we talked about this last week as well, maybe they could have vetted him out a little better. I mean, because it was a draft day trade, I don't know if they thought going into the draft that they had a chance to get Jameson Williams, had the thought process. I have no idea. But did he possess all the football IQ that you see with so many of these other guys in the combine interviews that they've put out? Did he have did Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell talk to Nick Saban about this guy? I mean, I have no idea.
There's just so much left to the three initials TBD. Yeah. And right now,
I'm not willing to completely label him a glaring mistake yet.
No, it's a disappointment so far. It doesn't mean that he's going to be a disappointment moving forward. I think it's just going to be his development, his growth as a player in the NFL has been stunted.
As a person, too.
Well, and I don't care so much about what is going on off the field. The gambling thing I care about because that is a detriment to him playing. He's not going to be there for 6 weeks. But in him being in Vegas, not a good look, but I don't really care. All right, he's allowed to go to Vegas. He's allowed to do whatever he wants to do. Him posting videos of shooting firecrackers or being, somewhere at 2 a.m. I don't care as long as he produces.
Right.
I just think it's premature on this a little bit because
Yes.
I want to see another season from Watson too before you say, well, you could have just stayed at 34 and taken Watson, or all that. There's a lot of things that I do. And, I think the big thing here right now is what they could have done is they could have very easily, if let's say they made this trade last year, a lot of people thought they were going to get Jordan Davis.
Right.
They could have had Davis with that pick. They could have taken Jalen Carter at 6 this year.
Yeah.
And then somebody like Jackson Smith and Jigba at 18. That, to me, is the three to watch. It's those three that I just said versus Williams, Gibbs, and Campbell.
Right. Well, Gibbs. I mean, if Gibbs comes through, I mean, then all bets are off.
I mean, that's the thing. This
If
other
Gibbs come
scenario.
through, if Jack Campbell comes through, I'm willing to be a little disappointed, but I'm also looking at what I've seen from, and I can't really say about Gibbs, but I can say about Campbell. I'm really pleased with what I've seen from him so far through, quote unquote, 2 preseason games.